Hi, it's Jon Cronshaw here with my author diary for the weekend in October the 8th, 2023. I think that the SAD has hit me this week. So I get this most years, and I'm feeling it this week for sure. So it just means my energy levels are in the toilet, which is always good. But I have done some work this week. I got the next chapter of Guild of Assassins written, so that will go out on Sunday on my Substack. I've also been doing some stuff to do with audio. So I've been using a kind of text-to-speech AI voice thing called 11 Labs, and been using that to turn some of my stories, short stories, things like that, into audiobooks. This is basically so I can make them accessible on YouTube. There's quite a few that I've done, and a few of them will be coming out over the coming weeks. I've launched the first episode of Punks vs Zombies as an audio on YouTube. So what I'm hoping is, that doing these will get me more followers on there, and kind of help my stories reach new readers. And it has worked with the the Addict of the Wasteland one on YouTube. Like that's had over 5,500 listeners, and I know for a fact that has led to sales of my Wasteland series box set. So that's pretty cool. It's just I've said it before. This idea of kind of future-proofing my business, having lots of different revenue streams coming from different places, not wanting to rely on just the book sales. So it's not okay, because indie authors talk about going wide or being on Amazon, which is basically, do you put your books exclusive to Amazon, or do you put them on other platforms? Now, what I found is that when I take them off Amazon, my sales tank, and it's just a lot harder to get a foothold on those other platforms like Apple and Kobo and things like that. And I'm running a business and I've got bills to pay, so I can't just do it for the whatever the moral or ethical reasons, whatever qualms I have about being Amazon exclusive. So I am trying to think about ways I can kind of make my stuff that I write work harder for me. So this is why I've got the Substack. This is why I'm doing the YouTube. With the Punks versus Zombies thing, that is going to be a podcast. And hopefully I'll be able to monetize that. So different revenue streams, different ways of kind of reaching different readers, different audiences with my stories. Because at the end of the day, it's about the stories. It's not about the books or the delivery system. It is about getting readers. In terms of reading this week, I read a book called Abolish the Monarchy, which I wholeheartedly endorse. I've mentioned before that I just don't like the monarchy. I think it's a secretive and tyrannical organisation that should be done away with. And a lot of the arguments that people use as to why the monarchy should stay are either ill-informed or just wrong. This book really lays out the arguments, really lays out the research, actually, because there's a lot of stuff that is like, how much does the royal family cost? Well, when you think about what they are given by the taxpayer, that's a lot of money, but they don't take into account the cost of royal visits, which will cost, tens of thousands of pounds for every place that a royal visits. And they don't take into account the cost of policing. They don't take into account the cost of, sending what's his name, Prince William, to have drinks with his mates on a RAF jet. So things like that, where it's public money, but it's not directly accountable to the royals. There's literally millions and millions of pounds being wasted on a family who had nothing to our country. I recommend that book. I've just started a book called The History of the Vampire. This seems quite fascinating, actually. Not going to get political on my views on vampires, because it's not the same. But yeah, no, it's definitely interesting anyway. So next week I'm just going to see how I feel, because I have just felt ropey this week. I do need to get the next chapter of Guild of Assassins done. Now, where I am in the story, it's like the last scene that I wrote has brought a kind of major arc to the end. So I'm thinking that I'm going to write a kind of wrap up chapter. And what this means is that I've got a first book in what will probably end up being a trilogy. It was meant to be a standalone, but I've basically got a 60,000 word novel now. And I'll just see how I feel. It might be that I just go for the standalone that is, 100 and whatever thousand words. But I'm thinking that I can do the satisfying story arc in, books 2 and 3, and carry on as a serial. Don't know whether I'm going to take a break from it for a little bit, and just kind of come up with plans for it as a trilogy now. But yeah, I'll just see what I'm doing, really. I know that Ravenglass Legends Book 1 will be edited the next week. So yeah, that's going to be good to finally get that out. So I just need to start prepping for the launch of that. So that'll be fun. So until next time, cheerio.